this show makes our week every single week. So now, we're going to get to our second interview. We're going to talk to Sonic Octane! Yeah! And we got Tim from Sonic Octane Online, and we got Peter on the mic.
Yeah,
Let's
baby.
get this started.
It's been a blast.
And kilted.
Hello, Tim. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
What is up, dude? Welcome to the Metal Mixtape. Right now, we have about 34 billion listeners listening right now. It's going nuts. It's going crazy. It's a fiesta, and there's unlimited guacamole, dude. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. It's a great evening to be on such an incredible show.
Hey, we appreciate that. Hey, give him a hand for saying that. Yeah. Hey, we appreciate that, man. And we got one of your sexy brothers here, Mr. Peter Kinney, on the mic.
Hello.
Yes, my good friend Peter. Good. I'm glad that he was able to join you guys.
Partner in crime, for sure.
So, dude, I'm excited to talk to you guys, dude. Sonic Octane has been doing so many great things ever since I got wind of this band. You guys have just been firing left and right, dude. All these amazing new levels that you guys are in, milestones. You know, from playing all these massive shows across the nation to having your song featured on a show on Netflix. Which
it's actually Amazon
Prime. I actually like Amazon Prime more. Yeah, so I apologize for that.
Yeah,
but,
Little Cupid off of Amazon Prime.
But, you know, you guys have been having so many milestones, and it's crazy. And, you know, I'm just, like, super proud of you guys. You guys are playing our hard rockin' music, dude. And it's just great, man, you know. But I think one thing I don't know too much, I know maybe a little bit of, is how the band actually started. Because I know a little bit of the history between, like, you, Pete, and our good friend Jim Harris that used to run this show. You guys have a lot of you guys have a ton of experience together, man. But I want to know how Sonic Octane came to be. What was the idea behind Sonic Octane in the first place before the band even started?
Yeah. No, it's a good story. I was actually in a tribute band out here, or not tribute, a cover band. Let's just call it a steamed cover band out here. And it was called Geek Strong, like kind of like we stole Lance Armstrong's Live Strong thing, and we're like, well, we're nerdy, so. And we took like songs like, you know, we were doing like Lord, Royals, and just all kinds of stuff. We were doing a lot of Backstreet Boys and stuff, but we were meddling them up and doing some stuff like that. We were adding a lot of synths to stuff that didn't have it. Like, everybody played Man in the Box, but we played it with some techno beat underneath it and some synth playing just to kind of freshen things like that up and get people to dance. And, you know, everybody knows that. And the cover band thing started for me in Medford, Oregon, man. I was living in Medford, and I went out and saw this cover band. Jimbo actually took me out to see a cover band down at this place called the Union Club. And I'm sure it's not there anymore because I think it was even gone when I left. But
it's Four Daughters now.
I don't even remember where it was. It was on one of the main streets there, the same street that had like the old Music Head and all that stuff, and some tattoo place and all that stuff. But this was a long time ago. But so I went and saw this band, and I was like, OMG. I'd never really seen a cover band in my life, and I don't think I knew they existed. I think maybe I knew that you might go to a restaurant here and there and see a guy playing some James Taylor on the guitar or some Margaritaville or whatever is nice dining music. But I went and saw this band, Born Naked, and boy, oh boy, at that time they were the best band I'd ever seen, you know, not including the like Rush and stuff that I've seen. You know what I mean? As a live band, like a local band, I went and I was like, God, these guys are good. Bill Newman on guitar was just like, OMG, this guy. You know, I used to think Steve Vai and Satriani and stuff were good, which of course they are, but then you see a guy like Bill Newman that's like right there with him, and I'm just like, dude, that guy's good. And then the other guitar player, Steve Hicks, who's not with us anymore, unfortunately, but a total brother of mine, loved the guy, totally missed the guy. And this guy was the other guitar player, and they totally complemented each other. One of them singing the Def Leppard and the Jackal and the higher stuff, and then you got three guys singing. Of course, Tony Mullins, the most amazing voice I've ever heard out of the valley there. And so I got really inspired. So when I actually moved a few years later, I wanted to do what this guy Mike Pernobis did. I was like, I want to be that guy. I want to be Mike Pernalvis, and it's funny because the guy actually lived with me for a while. He was the bass player singer, and lived with me for a while, and I was like, that's what I want to do in a band. I want to play bass in a cover band. I didn't want to play guitar anymore, just simply because I wanted to pull back from leads and a bunch of weird chords that were harder for me to play at the time. And I just wanted to sit back and play. You know, don't get me wrong, I grew up learning guitar, you know, learning Alex Lifeson songs, so my fingers definitely could stretch in weird ways that a lot of people, you know, can't play some of those weird chords. I can do some of those, and I can't do some simple stuff now, but you know, but I just wanted to play bass and sing a little bit. I ended up getting into the perfect project. Actually, Pete was going to move out with me to Denver, and so was Bill Tidy, the drummer, and we were going to do things out here. Bill, the drummer, did come with me for a while, and then it just didn't work out. So I got in a cover band, and that's what I wanted to do. I'm like, I can play, and I can make good money, and it was good money, and they treated you like a rock. It was like a rock shows here. If you were in a cover band in Denver, it was a full fog and lights and chicks, and it was incredible at that time. And it was touring too. We played 5-6 nights a week, and we toured the country playing covers in bars. So it was very strange, but it was so fun to get to you know just get better at being on stage and get better at singing, because I wasn't the singer in Emissary, the band I was originally in Medford. I just did some backings, and then did a couple songs. We were kind of doing the Kiss thing or the Death Angel thing, and kind of doing two vocalists here and there. But so when I came out here, I somehow became a lead singer and did most of the stuff. And I just played for so long, and then kept getting in different incarnations of cover bands. And we always had some themes, and we always got some good gigs and sponsorship from Coors Light, and just some neat things happened for us, because I kept pushing the cover band, saying I don't want to just be a cover band.
So how'd you and Gunnar meet?
Do some things,
and then you guys get together, brother?
Do some things that are more exciting than just being a cover band. Let's do some things that are exciting. So one, you know, this will tie the two things together. One year, I heard this band from this town, and they were really popular as a cover band. I mean, everybody just loved these guys for years. And they did an original, and I heard it on the main rock radio station out here. And they were in a contest, and I was like, I could do that. I can do that with my band. Let me go write a song. And I went, strangely enough, I wrote down again that you guys played earlier. And I purposefully said, okay, I got to take some Disturbed. I want to take some Nine Inch Nails. I want to take some Stabbing Westward, just because I like Stabbing Westward, and I like their vibe with the synth and stuff. And then I took a little bit of Pink Floyd in the middle part, and just took little parts that were really popular on the radio, and then and then kind of built that song around it. But I always wanted to do a little more than just the cover thing. So we were actually playing a show in my last cover band called Geek Strong. We were playing with I think the band Lit. Do you remember Lit?
I do.
They were in like American Pie.
Yeah, I remember Lit.
Song and stuff like that. And we played with another band, Days of the New, or Tantric. I'm sorry, Tantric. They're Tantric now. They were the other one. But we were playing a show, and this guy was out visiting our drummer at the time, and he just noticed that right after I got off stage, I walked around and I just went up to everybody and thanked everybody for being there and bought a couple people drinks, and he found that to be a nice thing for somebody to do that just gets off stage. And I've just always been like that. I grew up around famous people and around a lot of that kind of being ushered and having special access and stuff to things when I was a kid, because I was a ball boy for an NFL team and would travel with them and do all that. So I got to see that side of it, and I said I'd never be unnice. And not that I was big and famous or anything, but people that don't go to bars that much or go to some concerts and see any band, they think they're a big deal. And if you're nice to people, they get a kick out of that, and they feel really good about it, and you gained a new fan. So this guy was there, and his name was Robert, and he was with the band Sonic Octane, and they were going through kind of an identity crisis, I guess. They were trying to find the right pieces, and then when it was first mentioned to me by my drummer, he said, I don't know if you'd be interested, because I turned down a lot over the years, just because a lot of bands would say, yeah, dude, we're doing this, and I'd hear the stuff, and I'd just be kind of like, oh, it's just very average to me. and I'm not putting any bands down, but it was just very average stuff that I didn't want to not waste my time, but I just didn't feel like it fit me right there, and I didn't think it was going to go anywhere. So I found out the business plan, that this band already had a business plan and stuff. And so he set up a meeting and had me and the drummer there, Gunner, and the drummer that's still with us today. And he just talked to me about the business part, and he really talked a lot of stuff up that sounded nice. What's so hard when you're in an original band is to get promotion and marketing and all that stuff. And yes, today with just not very many years ago, what was it called? MySpace. It's such a big deal. And I was just like, that is so cool for bands to be able to have something like that, because, back when I was in Kill Misty and Emissary, we didn't have those platforms. We had the very beginning of the internet. So, and Jimbo knew more than I did, so he was able to we were able to figure out flyers and things like that, and logo stuff and a few things like that. But, so I'm talking to this guy, and I heard the music, a couple songs that Sonic Octane had done in the past. I was like, wow, those are all 3 songs I could hear on the radio. So I jumped in and I said, sure, what do you want me for? And it was going to be just, we want you to come in and be the singer. And they had another guitar player and Robert on guitar and a different bass player at the time. And it's a very unique situation that if you're not all in with music, it's not going to fit your lifestyle, because it's literally like, hey,
True.
If you schedule a wedding and we tell you 2 days before, oh no, we got a gig in New York, we have to go do this, then you're going to have to postpone the wedding over postponing a gig, kind of a thing, because it got to the point where there's so much money involved and so much backing and so much, if the door does open, you got to so jump in.
You got to eat it.
Jump on that
take it up.
opportunity. And so it was like, so we went in, and a couple of people didn't last because they just couldn't conform at the time. Some of the guys were a little younger, and they're still having the dreams of, well, I'm going to be a rock star anyway, so I'll just not do it with this band. And there were never any real hard feelings. It was just, you needed to be really committed to being Sonic Octane, and I loved that. I felt like over the beginning time, Robert and I kind of became the Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley of the band, and it was like, he was flying, I was flying to New York and Vegas and Ohio and just all these different places with him, and just for meetings, and we're meeting all kinds of people that I'm just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm sitting and meeting this person. People that I've seen in movies, and I'm just like, all of a sudden I'm friends with some guy that's been in like Ocean's 11 and all these great movies, and I'm like, hey dude, this guy's in my rock video, and just things happened really fast. And it was not long after the Vegas shooting that happened, and then we got permission to go, and this was when I was still early in the band, and that's why this is part of the story. I didn't know what my place was, and then we all went to Vegas and shot a video at Mandalay Bay, and it's very hard back then, before cell phones, a long time, not back then, but a long time ago, you could never take a camera into a freaking casino. They would kick you right out if you tried to take a picture of your friend sitting at a slot machine or something. They don't like any of that. So
no pictures.
So we got a lot of permission to go do the stuff. And all of a sudden it's 4 a.m. and we're on the top of Mandalay Bay, and I'm just like, what is going on with my life? This is so strange. I'm acting and doing all this stuff all of a sudden. So with that made me committed right there. Right there, I was like, dang, man, these guys are putting in a lot of money and a lot of support staff and people bringing me things. And I've had that, but I've always been very shy about that. And like when I have a writer agreement, people read mine, and it's literally a couple of bottles of water if they're available, and a towel, maybe a bar towel if it's available. And then if somebody has time to grab me a bottle of Pedialyte, I would take that. But I don't like leaving any footprints. I'm a guy that will actually leave a note for the promoter or for the staff at the club, just saying, hey, thank you guys for treating us so well, kind of a thing. And those kind of things got us good attention with Sonic as well. Just the idea that we put together a great business plan, thanks to Robert. This guy is a genius with numbers and charts and graphs and all that stuff. That
super smart, dude.
I just feel like a total tool when I look at that stuff. I mean, I'm intelligent enough with it, but I'm just like, dude, man, I don't see how some of this stuff works, but he knew how it works, and all of a sudden we're on a TV show in New York, and that's when Pete rolled in, and we needed a bass player because this one guy he just couldn't kind of conform to this is how it has to be right now as we're ramping up this project. We need to go, and we need to go fast, and we need to roll when they need us. And so it just didn't work out with him. So I called Pete, and I told the guys in the band, I said, listen, I got a guy. He can learn the stuff right away. Let me check and see if he's available.
That's awesome.
And interestingly enough, the drummer in Sonic Octane is actually the first guy I met when I moved to Denver in like 96, 97. And I met him because he had an ad up at the Guitar Center that says, drummer looking for musicians who's into Alice in Chains and Rush. And I'm like, oh my God, that's my dream band of all time. So I met the guy, and we just became friends, and we toured the country seeing Rush on different tours and played in a couple cover bands together. And then, so it was, and he knew of Pete because I gave him the band Kill Misty that was after Emissary. I gave him a CD, and he like just fell in love because it was enough of the, when I wrote a lot of that stuff for that album, I was really into Mad Season and, kind of like the Temple of the Dog to Soundgarden and Pearl Jam would be Mad Season, which was Lane Staley and some of the guys from Pearl Jam, and I really loved that album, and I was going through some stuff, so I started writing this music that wasn't quite mainstream metal, and the Emissary stuff with Jimbo and stuff, I saw it more as, because my inspiration was Death Angel at the time, just Death Angel all the time, because I was a huge fan. I used to go see him when I was just 13 in the little basements in the Bay Area and stuff, and I kept watching them grow until they put out the album Act 3, which I was like, oh my God, this is better than Injustice for All.
And then the organization they came out with, what a great album.
For me, that album was like, oh my God. So that's how I started writing. And we were a little, with Emissary early on, right before we got Pete, we didn't know what we were doing. We had some glam songs and some really heavy songs. So with our double bass and stuff. And then it all just kind of formed, and then Pete joined, and then we kind of got a little more of our edge. We're kind of like, dude, will you shave your head, please?
You shave your head.
Just kind of a normal haircut.
I had the business cut, baby. I was rocking the business cut.
Yeah, come on, you gotta look tough, dude. No, so we were, we all had long hair, and Jim was growing his hair out. He wasn't fully long when I met him at Music Head the first time, but we were just going for that just metal thing, and then of course right in the middle of Emissary is we're writing these songs, Nirvana and all that stuff just breaks so huge. It was already breaking, but.
So hey, but you were talking about me and how I joined the band. I want to hear more about me.
Well, okay. He was awesome and made me move.
I'm so
I literally
joking.
quit the band because Pete was just so bad. But no, he was awesome. And so basically, with the drummer, as I was saying, he really liked the Kill Misty album that I did with Pete. And I just took bits and pieces of songs, and it started to come out because it was kind of a recovery album for me. I was struggling with a lot of stuff. And I had just gotten, not long ago, I was at boarding school up in Idaho, and I had some issues as a kid, struggled, and, that set away here and there, and I was just kind of back and re-energized, kind of. But then I was going through other stuff, so I was definitely writing, and Pete came in, and his bass stuff, literally, yes, Geddy Lee's my favorite bass player, but right after that is Pete, 100%, because the guy, I wanted to play the... Dude, I just wanted to play guitar and have it be a little airy. And I bought this new book of chords, alternate chords, and I'm like, ooh, I hate playing the D minor because it sucks and hurts my fingers. Where else can I do it? So I found another spot on the guitar where I can only use 2 fingers. I'm like, oh my God, this is great. So I started writing all these songs with these alternate chords, and Pete's bass lines came in and just literally sliced right through them. And
that's awesome.
There's a song on that album that we're actually going to release as Sonic Octane soon, and he wrote this bass line that is my favorite bass line ever written by any bass player in history. Wow. And I still can't believe how he wrote it. It was just amazing. But the chemistry was there, and I'd always thought of Pete 20 years goes by quickly, or 15 years or whatever. And, I always thought about him, and I always thought one day I'm going to play again with this guy because, I thought I'd play with all of them. I thought I'd be an emissary again at some point. I thought I'd be playing with my friend Trav King and some of the guys. And I almost played with some of the guys in Born Naked when they did their other project. I forget what it was called. But then I was moving, and I was like, oh, my God, I would have so wanted to play with these guys. I did not. Pete's the one who got to play with those musicians, and I was very jealous. But so that's it. I know I'm kind of hogging the mic here or whatever, but
we love it, brother.
That's how we met, and I got Pete to come out to New York. I mean, his first experience. Hey, you want to join? You want to sit in for a minute? Sure. What do I have to do? Well, you have to fly to New York and be on TV. Okay. So,
it was only like 7.6 million people, dude. It wasn't a big deal.
Jammed out, got on a TV show, which was so weird to be treated so nicely by people. It's just everybody's treating me so nicely, and we're in New York, man. The freaking Empire State Building. I'm like, dude, I'm playing in a city where the Empire State Building is. How cool is that, man? So just those things, I really relish that stuff. I can really, I was lucky enough. Like my thing that happened to me that is the most important thing in my life was playing with Bruce Kulick from Kiss in Medford at Streams or whatever it's called now. I don't know what it's called, but is Streams still there, Pete?
No, they are not there. Actually, the whole building has been taken down. It is not there. It is a actual rock lot at the moment.
No, that makes me totally sad. But I got to play with a guy that was in Kiss, and as I'm sitting there, right, I'm on stage singing Rock and Roll Night. And
to put that in perspective, though, you have to realize Tim has a tattoo of Ace Frehley on his arm.
Literally, I love Kiss. So basically, the guy that a few guitar players later literally replaced Ace Frehley is standing next to me, and I'm like, in my brain, I like to grasp what I'm doing and the historic value, at least for me, not for other people. But I'm like, every night when this guy looks to his left, he sees Gene fucking Simmons, and tonight he's seeing me. How cool was that?
That's amazing.
So I really take things like that in, and I'm like, because I appreciate things. I was lucky enough to be a part of some Super Bowl and some history and things like that. I was lucky enough to be on the sidelines and things like that, and just like, wow, and work with Joe Montana and Jerry Rice and those guys that now I look at and I'm like, wow, I can't believe how, historically valuable these guys are. They were just guys that I knew. O.J. Simpson was a guy that I knew very well. He was my first friend on the 49ers, and I look back at that now and I'm like, wow, that, another historical figure that I was so blessed enough to know. But we're in New York. But back to the thing. I'm sorry, I'm so ADD. Back to Pete. We're in New York, and we're playing on this TV show, and right before the show, I said to myself, if this goes well, and this ends up sounding good the way I think it should, then that's going to solidify my 100% commitment in the band. I was already committed, but with the shake-up of different band members, I was getting a little shaky and a little scared. So, but we did it, and then I watched the video, and I was like, oh my gosh, wow, this is like better, one take on TV, better than I ever could have hoped.
Oh, yeah.
It was amazing.
I remember watching that video, dude, and it was like, it was super amazing, dude, and I think it's totally killer. But you know what?
No, it was cool.
No, you know what, Pete? Why don't you tell me your, like, the first couple days of joining Sonic Octane and that whole experience of, like, how was your experience joining Sonic Octane and getting that call and getting flown over? How was all that for you?
It started earlier, actually, with Tim had posted up some things of him, like, backstage with Corey Taylor and Stone Sour in Denver. And, and talks of, like, he's, like, offering Tim the mic. You want to bust it? And Tim's like, nah, buddy, you go ahead this time. You go ahead and take that. I'm listening to this stuff, and I'm getting jealous going, God, this is my guy. And, I just stopped playing with you, in Insanity's Reign. And I was just... I was just going through a time, and he called up, and he's just like, look, man, we're having issues with our bass player. Didn't really give me a lot of details, it's none of my business. But he's just like, hey, man, you want to learn the stuff? And if something comes up, we need a backup or somebody to come in, are you willing to fill in? And I was just like, okay. Absolutely, please. I mean, I'm seeing these posts. I'm just like, I was so jealous anyway and just envious. And so to be asked to be a part of it, I was just like, oh my God, really? Somebody was listening. So I learned the songs. It ends up coming out where the bass player is not involved. And so they asked me to fly out. I fly out to Denver. I rehearse for 2 days with them. And then we fly out to New York, and I'm on a show in front of like 7.6 million people on the Donna Drake show. And it's just my first experience in New York, even, just personally. And just, oh my gosh, it was just amazing. And it was quite the experience. And then I go back to Denver. We rehearse for maybe a few days, and then we have 2 shows in Las Vegas. And our video premiere party for the Mandalay Bay for the song we had put out at that point, Reckoning, which I wasn't a part of at that time. And so I was just kind of blown away and just really overwhelmed to be a part of it. And after we all kind of chilled and everybody got to know, and Tim, of course, Tim had my back and was just like, this guy's the guy. He's it, man. He's it.
He's your brother.
But, everybody else has to find their thing. And, within literally probably even a few hours, I don't think we played the show. And they were like, dude, you're the guy. You look like the guy from Vikings. Because I had my long gray beard roll. And they were like, you look like the guy from Vikings. And oddly enough, we all, me, you, and Gunnar, are of Norwegian descent. So, we have Rolf Gunnerhag, our drummer. Me, I'm a direct descendant of William the Conqueror, and which is originally Norwegian and married into English. And, of course, you with Dahlen, very, very, very Norwegian name. I actually remember turning on a street when I was in Norway a couple of years ago that was Dahlen Street, so it was very funny. So it's kind of cool being on this interview with Necro Butcher and the True Mayhem earlier today, because it really just... it's just kind of cool. 3 of us in the band are straight up Norwegian, and we got the chance to be on this epic show tonight with this awesome show. Dude, man. It was rad. It was so cool. And hey, brother, I know I'm here and I'm away and we haven't hung out in a while, but I miss you, brother, and I can't wait for us to get together and really start working our stuff, man.
Yeah, dude. Couple weeks, man. Couple weeks we're gonna be meeting, but just to add really quick to Pete, man. Next thing you know, we're on a tour bus in New York, and I don't think I would have been able to handle it if Pete wasn't there. I needed to see that familiar face and know that he has my back in everything. I mean, we've gotten in fights with people together, and we're like, no, I got him, I'll take him, no, you take. Just funny stuff like that, all the way from there, all the way to, actually it was because the guy picked a fight with Jimbo once. That's what's funny. It's all you guys hear right now.
That was funny.
Somebody was picking a fight with Jimbo, and Jimbo's like, dude, I don't want to fight somebody because that's stupid. And then we're all drunk. So anyway, long story short, it ended quickly. But it was, we're just brothers, man. Just a brotherhood, and we've known each other for a long time. I've been there, when he lost his girl, and and had a son, and he's heard about my life with me and my wife and kids, and he knew my wife a long time ago, and it's just a fit. It was a natural fit.
No,
definitely Robert right away said, yes, dude, I love this guy. It was like within minutes, yeah.
That's awesome, dude. So we got about 5 minutes left, dude. So is there so one thing I love about Sonic Octane, you guys always have a positive message with a lot of your music. But what can we expect from Sonic Octane here in the coming years, or months, or days?
This COVID thing, man, really put a dent in everybody's stuff. I'm sure you saw on whatever the internet, social media, that we had some big bands. We were about to head out and go out and play with Power Amp 5000, Traps, and Saliva, and all these bands that I felt like we fit more with. And then we got to play with the Icons. Just to play in a band that used to have Randy Rhoads, that's enough for me, man.
Quiet Riot, baby.
Wow, we're playing with Quiet Riot and Molly Hatchet. Molly Hatchet's a band that I just remember seeing the album when I would pass that album to get other killer metal albums at the record store. But I'd always see the Molly Hatchet album and always wonder, it's pretty badass.
Myself being Indian, opening for Blackfoot would have been amazing.
Yeah, but totally. So we were going to go out and in tour. We almost had a Fozzy tour. We were doing a lot with Fozzy and another band, and then a few other things. And then of course COVID happened, and so it's been a struggle. Some of the guys in the band have been having a hard time, and I mean I have too. We all have, but I think everybody's going through some growth stuff. But we're actually working on a cover right now of, and I don't mind saying it, but it's the Red Riders song, Lunatic Fringe right now. We're doing a Sonic Octane version of that, and we've been talking to the record company, and they're all about, let's put out a cover, get it on YouTube, and get the numbers up.
That's
and
awesome.
Then with everything crazy happening right now in the world, it seemed to fit. And I always thought for 30 years, I'm like, I'm going to remake that song because it could be so heavy. So we're working on a cover there. It's a few new songs. And Pete and I are talking about a separate project that we're just, when we're not doing Sonic, we have some other stuff cooking. But Sonic right now, I have been just told by the record company that we have massive festivals lined up for next for 2021, and some really big ones.
That's so great, dude.
We were supposed to be on Rocklahoma this year, and we just got edged out by I don't even remember what it was, but we were basically on in Rocklahoma, and I was just like, oh my God, this is gonna be huge, and then that just didn't happen, and things like that keep happening. But in our one of our cohort bands on Curtain Call just was out for 3 months with Queensryche, so we're excited to do something similar to that and jump on one of those. And then 2021, it's going to be probably the biggest year of tours in the history of music. I don't think there will ever be a bigger year. Everybody's at the starting gate right now. Everybody's waiting. Oh my God, when can we go? When can we go? Bands that have retired are coming back because they've had so much time to work on new music, and so it's going to be the biggest year. And I'm hoping that there's going to be enough room for all the bands and everyone too. But
yeah,
I think our new music will be released. We do have an FM deal, so I mean that's terrestrial radio. I don't even know where that lands anymore because I'm not looking at specs and all these numbers. But they'll be releasing some stuff in the fall. They were supposed to do it in about March, but with all this stuff, they said no, we're going to hold off, and they're going to release. We think Down Again may be the first single, but who knows? We may end up with something else.
I'm liking me some First Time.
Right, and we're hoping to jam and get out there and tour, and we have a couple other movie deals, things like that, to get our music in some movies and stuff, and that's about it.
Well, dude, you know what? I want to thank you for being on the show today, dude. I'm so excited for Sonic Octane and what they're coming in 2021. I'm excited for Pete being here on the show.
Thank you, brother.
I definitely want you guys to come back again, because honestly, I think we could talk for a whole hour.
We could definitely talk for hours, brother. Absolutely. We didn't even delve into it all. Thanks, you, brother. I miss you, too.
So, Pete, do you have a final shout-out or something final you want to say about Sonic Octane before we let you guys go?
Yeah, what I want to say is just I'm really excited for the future. I'm looking forward to playing these festivals, meeting these people, sharing our music, sharing myself, my bandmates, my love for music and people, and just of everybody in general, and just spreading the love, man. That's what I'm about. I just want to spread love.
Well, hey, thank you guys so much. Well, thank you guys so much for being on the show.
I want to get together with Tim one day and Kiss.
Yeah, so definitely. So thank you guys for being on the show. Check out Sonic Octane. They're pretty much on every platform. And much love to thanks for making time. And thank you, Peter, for making time as well.
Love you, brother.
Thank you, guys, man. Love you, Pete. See you guys soon.
Peace. And that was Sonic Octane. That was